Hello guys, and welcome to another video in which we're going to be dissecting the Fortnite UI. With the overhaul that the entire UI had, I found that it was very overwhelming for me to go over my settings and try to find the best things that will suit for my game style or that will help me to perform better or just enjoy the game more in general. So I figure, why don't I go ahead and just dissect and take it apart piece by piece and try to explain it, put that on a video, maybe it might help somebody else out there. So that's what I'm going to do. Overall, when you go to settings, you're going to see your screen divided in three sections. The first one is like a quick menu in which you can jump from section to section so you can go and easily access to it. The middle one is going to have actual settings section by section. So if you want a quick jump from one to another, you will use what is on the left. If not, you can just go to the middle and then just scroll down. And then the third part is going to actually show a brief explanation of what each setting does. Some of those are very easily to understand, but English is not my first language. So for a lot of them, I actually like to test them so I can actually see. I'm more like a visual learner, so this helped me a lot. If that's you, then I got you. Don't mess with your settings. I will mess with mine so you don't have to. Now, one of the really good features that they have is some of the features that they have for accessibility. One of them is going to be for colorblind people. The first option that they are providing us or for people that have color blindness is going to be the deuteranope. Deuteranope. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly because English is not my first language, like I said, but this refers to red and green color blindness. This usually is the most common type of color vision deficiency, and it's usually genetic. So basically, they cannot see red or green. This is something that they can actually mess with to see what actually looks better, and using the provide images, they can actually adjust its strength and the filter. That way, they can see the color correction that works better for them. So that's basically how it looks like. Here's also a demonstration of how it looks at the highest setting, just so you guys can see the difference. After that, they also have the protonote. This one is going to be blindness to red. That means that they cannot see the red color at all. So basically, that's the second mode that they are offering for color blindness mode. And finally, as you can see, you also will see in game what it looks like at the highest settings. And finally, we have tritonope. And this is going to be for two types. There are two types of blue and yellow color vision deficiency. This is one of them, and it makes hard to tell the difference between blue and green and between yellow and red. So it makes someone unable to tell the difference between blue and green, purple, red, and yellow and pink. Therefore, this is the other mode that they are offering. And again, as you can see on this video, I have put it at the highest setting. I am not colorblind, but you can definitely see the difference and see how the filters will work. So if you are colorblind and you have any of these three types of color blindness, then this is something that you definitely need to take a look at and try to adjust it, and hopefully that helps you as well. Once we go from there, we can go to the advanced settings. The first one is show the FPS. When you activate that, it's literally a tiny number at the corner of your screen right there when you see that arrow. And then the second option is just report performance stats. You can actually enable that, and it's going to be a little green number that is going to show on your screen. I normally don't have those enabled, and you don't have to, but they're just there if you want to know if you're dropping frames and things like that. So the next settings are going to be our audio settings. For this one, we have the regular volume, sound, voice chat, and created options. In the volume category, we will have the main, which is going to control literally all the volume in your game. But if you want to actually set this up individually, you can actually do it by just adjusting the volume on the music, sound effects, which basically everything that happens in the game, dialogues, that's whenever we are running a scene and there are people talking, for example, especially during the events. Voice chat is going to be the people that are with you in your lobby so you can hear them. Cinematics, this goes more when we are actually having events and how the event will sound and all the trailers and scenes that will happen there. And picture in picture is whenever you want to see, for example, the World Cup while you are playing. I don't normally use this feature that much, but this is where you can adjust that volume in case that you want to keep up with the latest championships or the latest competitions and you want to keep that while you are playing. So that's what it is there for. Subtitles will either allow you to turn them on or off, will allow you to change the text size, the text color, text border, and background opacity. So it's a lot easier for you to read. So if you're interested in that, this is something that definitely you can access to and just adjust this as you will. And visualize sound effects. A lot of people use this. This is another feature that they have for accessibility. So for people that is hard of hearing, they can actually use this, and there's going to be something on the screen that is going to show them where there are enemies, where there are chests, if there's firing, bosses, things like that. So a lot of people actually use this just in regular mode. You don't have to be hard of hearing to use it, but it's just there, and it definitely helps, especially for new players that are not so used to first person shooters or third person shooters like Fortnite, to see where things are happening. So that's why the visual effects are for. In the voice chat section, we have different options, and you have to be very careful when you mess with these ones because you can definitely stop hearing your entire party and then it will take you forever to figure out what's going on. So, off is going to be when you don't want to use voice chat at all, and this is also going to turn off voice reporting. Friends only, that means that if there's somebody else in your lobby that is not on your friend list and is a friend of a friend, you won't be able to hear each other. Friends and teammates, it means that as long as they are in your party or in your lobby, you will be able to hear them even if they are friends of your friends. They are your teammates, so we'll be able to use microphone and you will be able to hear them. Voice chat will allow you to have it for everybody. That means that regardless if they are on your friend list or not, you still will be able to hear them. Voice reporting is basically a feature that is going to store your conversations. So if you want to report a conversation or somebody else wants to report the conversation, they actually need to have this option enabled. It says off when possible because if, for example, you are with your friends, you have a party of 4, all of them should have it to off when possible in order to avoid voice reporting. If one member of your party has this to always reporting or always on, then it doesn't matter if you have it on off, it will still record it and it will still be able to reporting it. Voice chat method gives you 3 options. Either open mic, which basically is just will be open at all times. Everybody will be able to hear you depending on their own voice chat settings, of course. But from your end, you can speak at every time and they should be able to hear you. Push to talk is going to allow you to set up a button so you can mute yourself. Let's say that your headset does not have a mute button, then you can actually set this one this way so you can actually just press a button and they will be able to hear you in game. And finally, mute. So that means that you are muted at all times and they will not be able to hear you at all. And finally, voice chat notifications. There are 2 types of notifications that you will get. The first one is if you are, for example, on PlayStation. I have noticed that when one of my friends joins the party, but they are in a PlayStation voice chat, it automatically tells me that there's that person is in another voice channel, so they won't be able to hear me. The other notification that I get is at the bottom of the screen, you will see your name and a little speaker that shows who is talking. That is a voice chat notification. And also at the top of your character, where your gamer tag is, you will see a little speaker that will also show if the person is speaking or not. Those are the voice chat notifications that we get. Finally, in the sound settings, we have the creator options. This is mostly for content creators that wants to post their content in other social media or even on Twitch. Twitch actually auto mutes some parts of the stream if they detect copyright music on it. So this is basically something that can help content creators to avoid those situations. You can either have it open at all times or not muted at all. That means that if you do an emote that has copyrighted music, if you have a music pack that has copyrighted music, or even right now with Fortnite Festival, if you're playing copyrighted music, it automatically will allow to just play it as usual. Now, mute others is going to prevent you to listen any emotes that have copyrighted music, for example. So you're just careful about the emotes that you use, but you don't have to worry about if somebody else is using an emote that has copyrighted music, because you won't be able to listen. And then mute all, it's basically even if you use copyrighted music, music packs, Fortnite Festival, it will still be muted and you won't be able to listen to it at all. Okay guys, so this is part 2 of me taking apart the new UI for Fortnite. This one covered everything about graphics, at least the ones that I'm able to get on console, and also the audio settings. How do they work and what you can do with them? If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!